Hello, sweets, and welcome to your week 6 rundown video. As always, in this video, I'm going to be going over each of the assignments that I have lined up for you this week and hopefully providing you some clarification and a little bit of direction so that you can approach the assignments with confidence. Of course, if you have questions at the end of this video, always feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at any time, or you can join me for humanities specific office hours. That is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. So we're going to be continuing this week with our Twisted Tales unit. Last week we started looking at monsters and creatures in the genre, and we're going to kind of continue that work and referring specifically to a couple of different works by one of my all-time favorite authors, Neil Gaiman. Many of you guys should know who Neil Gaiman is. We have a class set of The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, and I know a lot of you guys read that text for K-Bar. Neil Gaiman is an incredible author. He's known for both adult literature and also literature specific for younger readers, and he uses a lot of mythology in his works, and he's really known for his kind of twisted and creepy tales. So we're going to be starting this week with one of his short stories called Click Clack the Rattle Bag. So as always, you're going to access the text using Google Classroom, and you'll notice that as always, the text is set in the stop and jot sort of reader's guide format. It's not a very long one. And then also, of course, you're always going to address the discussion questions at the end. Here's what I will say about this story. The audio that I have linked here for you is an actual reading of the story by the author Neil Gaiman himself.
Do you actually need me to take you up to bed?
So I'm going to stop there because I don't want you guys to get too much just in the rundown video. But here's what I will say. Hearing the story read in the voice of the author themselves really contributes to the reader's experience. There's something about listening to an author read their own works that you just can't get when you read it on your own. And especially for Neil Gaiman, who reads so beautifully, even his twisted tales. I really recommend that you guys, even if you're a strong reader who really prefers to read the story on their own, I really encourage you guys for this specific story to listen to Neil Gaiman as he is reading the story aloud. It's going to contribute to your experience as a reader. So please consider that, at least for this story here. And of course, as you're listening, you can stop and jot. And what I do want to say is I have noticed a real improvement on the consistency and the details in your stop and jot notes. So I'm very proud and impressed. So keep that work up. When you're finished with Click Clack the Rattle Bag by Neil Gaiman, you guys are going to jump into an analysis of film. Neil Gaiman has also written a book called Coraline. Many of you guys may have even already seen the film. But what I'm going to ask that you do, his book Coraline was made into an animated film, and we as a class are going to be watching this film and analyzing it for the same 4 elements of horror that we have been looking at for weeks now: conflict, building suspense, foreshadow, and plot twist. So I've linked the video here. I found it for free on YouTube, and whenever you find films, like full-length feature films on YouTube, it's really unsure of how long it's going to last because actually there's some copyright infringement going on. So hopefully this stays open long enough for us all to watch the film. But as you're watching the film, I'm going to ask that you are considering, again, the 4 elements of horror that we've been looking at. And I have attached a document that's going to help you keep track of your analysis. So for the film Coraline, as you're watching, I need for you to describe the conflicts that you find, and not just describing the conflicts to themselves, but I'd like for you guys to identify which of the 5 types of conflicts each fit under. So if you notice that Coraline gets in a fight with her friend, then that's a conflict that would fit under man versus man. If you notice that Coraline is being chased by a creature, then that's probably going to fit under man versus supernatural. So keep in mind, I want you to, yes, describe the conflicts as you see them, but I also want you to identify which of the 5 types it fits under. Suspense building, of course, is going to look a lot different in films than it does in literature. So I want you to refer back to that first video that I had you guys watch in week 1. And some of the things that I talked about in that video were lighting and camera angles and sounds and different events. I want you to notice how these things contribute to the suspense building in the film. Foreshadowing, of course, and then the plot twist. You're going to describe the plot twist in your own words, but I want you to also use quotes from the film. Okay? So as you're watching the film, you should be filling this out. It's going to help you keep track of your analysis, and it's going to help you to prepare for your Friday Flipgrid, which is going to be essentially you summarizing your analysis of those 4 elements in the film. Number 4 before the Flipgrid is a very brief video. It's about 15 minutes long, but it's about the creature in Coraline and the origins. So the creature in the film is called a beldam, and this is going to give you a little bit of context of the origins of that creature. So just like last week in the Monstrum videos, we learned about the origins of all those different monsters. This video is going to give us a little bit of context on the origins of the creature that we learn about in Coraline. Okay, so click clack the rattle bag. You're going to watch the film and fill out this sheet here. You're going to watch the history, get some context about the origins of the creature in the film, and then you will do, as always, your Friday Flipgrid. If you have any questions, please, again, feel free to reach out to me through email. Stop by and see me on Tuesdays or Thursdays at 12 p.m. for office hours, and good luck.